guys, it's Amanda over at AmandaReads, and today I'm coming to you with a little bit of a different video. So this video will actually contain my December wrap-up, my yearly wrap-up, and my goals for 2017. However, I do need to start off this video with a few announcements. This video is sort of bittersweet because I feel like I'm going to be delivering some bad news, but I'm also going to be delivering some good news. The first announcement I have is one that I'm very excited about. Over the vacation, I got engaged, so I am getting married, which is very exciting. Now moving on to the not so great announcement. I know that I haven't really been consistently filming and uploading on my YouTube channel, and that is just because my personal life has become so crazy. So right now I'm finding it really hard to find time to film because anytime I have any sort of free time, I'm kind of just using it to chill out and decompress, and I don't really want to spend that time reading or filming. So for that reason, I just wanted to let all of my subscribers know that I'm not going to be filming very consistently. I'm not like taking a break from my channel, but I'm just not going to be making any promises about when new videos are going to be up or what type of content they will be. I do have a pre-film video that I'll be editing and putting up soon, and that is my 5-star series to go along with my 5-star standalones that I posted last month or the month before. Just looking into the near future, I'm not sure when I'm going to be uploading because now I'm planning a wedding and I just have a lot going on, and it's all very exciting. I'm very happy that I have so much going on, but unfortunately BookTube is kind of taking a back seat. I find that I'm just watching other people's videos but not really making the time to sit down and film my own. I don't really have any desire to film, and BookTube is supposed to be something that I wanted to do for fun. So I'm not saying that I hate BookTube and that I want to quit BookTube. I just want to do it on my own terms and not really feel like I have to upload at a certain time of the month, a certain type of video every month, that kind of thing. I'm still here. I'm just dealing with everything that's going on in my personal life first. Now I would like to move on to my December month wrap-up. I had a pretty ambitious TBR set for myself, and I ended up reading 4 books and 1 short story. So let's talk about that. The first thing I read in the month of December was a short story by Maggie Stiefvater, and it was called A Minor Raven Boys Holiday Drabble. This was literally like a 1-page short story. It's a Christmas story set in the world of the Raven Boys. It revolves around the Raven Boys, and it's a very short yet creepy and haunting Christmas story. I ended up giving it 3.5 out of 5 stars. It was just so short. It's really hard to rate something so short. I don't know, I just have a hard time doing that, so I thought 3.5 because it could have been way longer, and I really liked it and was really upset that it was so short, honestly. Then the next book I completed was the audiobook of The Incorrigible Children of Ashton Place Book 2, The Hidden Gallery, and in this book the family travels to London and they have adventures in London, and there's a lot of mystery and a lot of suspense and so many questions. I gave The Hidden Gallery 4 out of 5 stars, and then I proceeded to pick up book 3 in the Incorrigible Children of Ashton Place series called The Unseen Guest. I also gave this book 4 stars. This book takes place at Ashton Place. They return from their London vacation, and of course more crazy things happen and more questions arise. These books are really just like one huge novel that Mary Rose Wood chopped into 6 shorter pieces. They literally raise so many questions that they don't answer, and like they continue to not answer them. So there are so many questions from book 2 and book 1 that aren't answered still, and then they keep giving little hints which make the questions even more complicated. I like it though. Like, I'm definitely gonna read it, but my library doesn't have any of the other audiobooks, so I'm gonna have to physically pick them up, and I just haven't done that yet. The next book I read in the month of December was Miracle on Fifth Avenue by Sarah Morgan. I received this because I am part of the Sarah Morgan US review crew, and this is the 3rd book in the From Manhattan with Love trilogy. I love this book. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. I think that the second book in the series is my favorite, Sunset in Central Park, and then this one was my second favorite, and then the first book was my least favorite. The only thing I have to say about these books were that they kind of all followed the same formula. These are romance novels. Since you know what's going to happen, it's a very predictable book. When you read these books, you're kind of just reading them for the happiness that you get from feeling the feelings of a new romance. It's just kind of a feel-good experience. And the final book I read in the month of December was The Quiet Little Woman by Louisa May Alcott, and this was my December buddy read with Fiona over at Reads and Eats. Also, just so you know, I will be continuing to be doing buddy reads with Fiona and doing book talks. Those are the only things I am going to still be definitely committing to on my channel, because I really enjoy getting to spend that time talking with someone else about the books I read, and I know that Fiona and I just really enjoy having that thing to share together. So this book was actually comprised of 3 short stories. The first short story in this book is called The Quiet Little Woman, and it is about an orphan who has dreamed all of her life of being adopted by a loving family. However, when she does finally get adopted, she is adopted by a family that kind of looks at her as their servant. So life isn't really going as planned, and it follows her life on one Christmas. The next short story is called Tilly's Christmas. The story Tilly's Christmas is about a girl named Tilly who's very poor, and she lives with her mother, and she's not going to be able to be getting anything for Christmas. However, when her and her mother wake up on Christmas Day, someone, they don't know who, has left them gifts, and it's about that Christmas experience. The final short story in this book is called Rosa's Tale, and it is the story of a horse and her experience with different owners and things like that, and I loved it. I honestly really enjoyed all of these short stories, and I gave this book 4 out of 5 stars. Now I really want to talk about a book that I have been reading for so long, and in December I finally buckled down and just started giving my best effort to this book. And I'm not kidding you, I read this book all of the time. It's like a pretty tall book, and the print is so small that reading 10 pages feels like you're reading 10 chapters. It is just so dense, and no matter how long I read it, it feels like I'm making no progress. But I am, so I wanted to tell you that I did read this book in December. I just haven't finished it yet, and that is A Little Life by Hanya Yanagihara. And as you can see, I am over here, but I just have so much left, but I'm trying really hard. I read this for like 2 hours this morning, but I only read like 50 pages, and I am a pretty fast reader. I don't understand what's going on. So I'm on page 479, and there are 720. So I have less than 300 pages to go. I can do it. It's just gonna take me a little while, but I'm liking it now. It was a very slow start. I didn't really like it until like 200 or 300 pages in, and that was a really big commitment to spend time-wise. So I don't know yet if I would really recommend this book. I think it really depends on your reading taste. It's definitely disturbing and has like a ton of trigger warnings. I have pretty bad anxiety, so when I'm reading this, I do sometimes feel very anxious, and I do have to stop reading and kind of take a break from it and then come back to it once I've processed my emotions, kind of thing. For that reason, I would say it is a pretty hard book to read. It's very graphic, and there are very just harrowing scenes in this book. Now we're going to move on to my yearly wrap-up. So 2016, I originally wanted to read around 72 to 73 books because my goal was to read all of the books I purchased in 2015 during the months I purchased them in 2016. So I had planned out monthly TBRs, and it was just a really great plan in theory, but I didn't stick to it. So it didn't really work out at all. I did not end up reading all of the books I was supposed to read, but I did end up reading 58 books. I was okay with it. It's less about the number this year for me. I felt like in 2015 when I read 103 books, I was reading them so fast that I don't even remember some of them. In terms of page count, I read 19,408 pages this year. And the longest book I read was Night Film by Marisha Pessl, which has 602 pages. Something I found really interesting looking back at my statistics this year on Goodreads was that I didn't give any book a 1-star rating. Looking back, I honestly think that I rated too highly this year because I remember absolutely hating Between the Lines by Jodi Picoult and Samantha Van Leer, and yet I still gave it 2 stars. I think I should have at least given it 1.5 stars, and out of the 58 books I read this year, I gave 26 of those books a 5-star rating. I know that I am always very willing to give out a 5-star rating, and I honestly don't think that's a problem because it's my personal opinion and who cares. But I do think that sometimes I am too nice when rating a book. So now I want to talk a little bit about my goals for 2017. I want to read at least 55 books, and I would really like to also start rating books a little harsher. I usually rate books right after I've completed them, and although that's fine and I don't think there's anything wrong with that, I do feel like I also need to go back sometimes and reread my reviews and ratings and kind of see if I still feel the same way and edit them if I don't, because sometimes once months have gone by, if I can't remember that book that I thought I loved so much, it doesn't really deserve a 5-star anymore. So thank you guys for watching. I am so excited to see what's in store. I hope that you are going to be able to continue on this journey with me. Thank you for watching my December wrap-up, my yearly wrap-up, and my resolutions for 2017. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys!